Radiant has one or two bugs making it fiddly to work with light. Objects often have to be deselected and reselected for changes to apply. After adding a light, open the Light Editor, which is J. This will show the initial options available for the light volume. Equilateral radius is selected, setting the default volume the light occupies. If this needs to be a regular sized object, changing one value applies to all X, Y and Z axes. To see changes in real time, activate Render Mode, F3 is a shortcut, and force a redraw, F7. This is often needed to force update rendering after changes are made. The light can then be moved to see the effect on objects in the scene. Use F3 to exit render mode. When switching between light types, deselect and reselect the light to make sure the origin point activates properly. Otherwise, when it moves, the light moves with it. It should be independent of the light itself. Parallel lights are often used to provide flat, shadowless light and typically have a texture shader assigned. In this case, ambient light. If the change doesn't show in the camera view, use F7 to force update the scene. As with point lights, the volume determines the light's influence on objects in the scene. Note that parallel lights in particular may or may not cast shadows or be affected by the origin depending upon shader assignments and their properties. Switching to projected light, note again to deselect, reselect the light to properly manipulate the origin points which control the size of projected light volumes. Most issues tend to crop up switching from other light types back to standard point lights, which often require other settings to be changed before they work correctly. An interesting feature of point lights is revealed doing this. They work with origins, which provide directional information instead of using target null entity pairings. This means point lights serve a dual purpose on their own: volume coverage and light direction. The color of lights can also be changed using the color wheel, tonal slider, or numerical values. This can also be done independently of the light editor using the color editor. Press K to access.